duck down. You want to duck, just go over and get under the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Jets, Jets, Jets. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the daytime show. That's what we're doing here. Green Bean hanging out to talk about the New York Jets on a Friday. It's still the morning. I don't love calling 11 a.m. in the morning. I feel like morning is more like 8 a.m., right? That's the morning. But, hey, 11 a.m. is before it's not noon. So I guess that's what it is. Good morning to everyone. We are here on a Friday. Just hung out with Jake over there for a little while. Got to talk a little bit of Jets, and I figured let's do this thing since I'm not actually working today. I do have an appointment in a little while, but appointments are easy. We can do appointments. And we'll talk about the Jets today because there's news. There's news about the Jets. Starting with, I didn't see this coming when I made the decision to do a stream today, but the New York Jets have extended Josh Myers, who's the center who's been our starting center all year. It's 9 a.m. there. You must be on the West Coast, right? Nice. The New York Jets, this guy that we signed was very much, a lot of us thought just a depth signing, right? Started for us, but we didn't see that coming. We had Joe Tippmann locked in as center in our hearts, even though in the offseason, training camp and all that jazz, all the way up until the season, throughout preseason and everything, Aaron Glenn was very much talking about there's a competition between Joe Tippmann and Josh Myers. Now, I didn't really think that it was, real per se. I mean, look, he's a new coach. He's taken over the organization, so he's got to evaluate and all that stuff. So there's somewhat of a competition. But I thought it was a foregone conclusion that Joe Tippmann would start at center over Josh Myers. But as it started to, inch through the preseason and everything, it was like I don't know. Wait, I'm getting a little nervous here. I don't want to see Joe Tippmann on the bench and Josh Myers out front. But Joe Tippmann did win the competition. The offensive line would have been Olu Fashanu on the left side, Simpson in there on the left guard, Joe Tippmann at center, AVT right guard, and newly acquired first-round pick Membu on the right side. And then right before the season starts, what happens? The yearly AVT injury earlier than usual, but still pretty much a yearly event. He played, I think, 14 games for us, 15 games last season, but still injured. So the great news with the flexibility for us, Joe Tippmann can play guard and center. So he moved over from center to guard. Josh Myers, who only plays center, that's, I like to use the word anomalous these days. Generally speaking, when you look at an interior offensive lineman, if they have the center thing going on, every center can play guard. I'm sure Josh Myers could do it in a pinch, but he's one of those very rare players that he's a center. That's all he is. So he can't really, they don't feel good about him needing to go over. So anyway, he ends up starting for us, and he's played well. I don't think he's played, Pro Bowl level or anything like that. And I don't not think it. He hasn't played Pro Bowl, but he's been very solid. Tippmann also at right guard has been very good. So Tippmann, I think it's going to be really good to figure out what is he and let him develop, because this is only his second year, man. So, let's get him. Is it his second or maybe third? I think this was his second year. Maybe it's his third, whatever. He's young. So whatever it is, if he's the center or if he's the guard, outside of in a pinch, shit has to get moved. But whatever he's going to be every year, you can't switch positions on these guys. You got to pick one and let them become that. That's how you're going to get optimal play from these guys. Moving them around all the time, even though you can, positional versatility is an asset and it's a positive. You don't want to play with it. Let them play where they are and develop there. That's what it is. So signing Myers is a great thing. Now he's making $2 million this year. They just gave him a raise, 2 years, $11 million, $6 million guaranteed. So it's a pretty good raise for him. I don't think it guarantees. It's not so much that Gary's guaranteed to start. It's like that fringe. It'd be upper tier backup money, but that's fine. So what it does, guys, I don't think it stops us from doing anything. It just helps you to not be in a position of desperation, needing to do things, whether that be in the draft or free agency. And obviously next year, depending on what happens, we know our floor is now Josh Myers. So even if they try to upgrade the position and have that, let's say they use we end up jumping up from the fourth into the third with one of our sevenths, we use it to get up, or two of our sevenths or a sixth or whatever. You jump up from a fourth into the third and you grab that center that you like. You can have a honest to goodness competition there. And so if the kid's not ready, Josh Myers, you already know what you're getting. But if he comes in and he's lights out, you got an upgrade. And then you have Josh Myers as that really solid backup. I like it. I think it's a slam dunk signing. I really like it. So I'm a big, big fan. This is good news today for the New York Jets. I will remind everybody, we are looking to get up to 15,000 subscribers, guys. I'm at 14,000. I cannot get from 14,100 to 14,200. It's crazy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here, that's what we do to show support. You hit the like buttons. We like to call them the milk thumb. We squeeze them. That's what we do. We squeeze the milk thumbs. That's what we do. Did I ever put the thing in here? No, I didn't. I got to get my graphic in there. But we squeeze the milk thumbs, hit that like button, and you subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to join get the emojis, the super chats, and the members only content, you can join. Hit the join button and join the Stream Beaners. And the Beanbaggers link is in the description as well. That is greatly appreciated. Let's start this off with another amazing way to support the channel from one of my absolute favorite fellas, E-Boogie, checking in. Thank you, my friend. He says, let's do it, boys. All in for Joe Burrow, Green Bean, all according to plan right now. See, now I'm going to disappoint you, E-Boogie. I am not a fan of the Joe Burrow trade idea. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. Now, I'm going to start with this. I love the player. I think he's, as good of a quarterback as you're going to find in the NFL. I think he's one of the elites. I don't think that's up for debate. I don't think it's a question. If the Jets had a player like Joe Burrow in here, you saw what he did for the Cincinnati Bengals. Granted, Jamar Chase, who he was throwing to in college at LSU as well. T. Higgins, who was one of my favorites, even more so than some of the other wide receivers in his draft class, ended up being the first pick of the second round. T. Higgins, and then what's his name? Well, his name's going to escape me. But the third wide receiver that they had for a bunch of years, he's been gone for 2 years. But I can't remember. I can't believe I don't remember his name. But anyway, he revitalized that franchise. Now, they have not been able to protect him, which is really something. Like when you have and we saw that here with the Jets, two separate quarterbacks, Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Dude, for whatever reason, they just didn't prioritize making sure, not just taking swings, making sure that you have the protection for this damn investment, for this quarterback, the most important position in all of sports. There is not a single position. You could argue pitcher, right, for in baseball. But even with that, a pitcher, if he's not, if he's having an off day in the third inning, you can bring in a new pitcher. You know what I mean? You have the bullpen. So even though pitching is as important to the game of baseball, the person, the position, the one guy, significantly less important because you have your starting rotation and then the bullpen. So come on, give me a fucking break. These guys are starting one game out of 10. Or whatever it is. The quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. So that creates a scenario when the offensive line, starting with left tackle as the most important offensive line position, you could argue center, but so right there, that becomes the most important position because when you have your quarterback, all resources should go to making sure this person is going to succeed. Now, what does that look like? It looks like the offensive line, like I just mentioned. The Jets just re-signed Myers. Great start. You got Fashanu under contract. You got Membu under contract, and you got Tippmann under contract, and you lock in Josh Myers. That means 4/5 of our current starting offensive line is coming back next year, guaranteed. Such a different scenario than we are used to. There you go, Jets. We're finally making some sense. You're fucking looking like you know what you're doing. Finally. And this means, well, look, we got the AVT question. You got the Simpson question. That's all great. But we got really one position of the offensive line to really, as a concern, we'll figure it out, as opposed to who are our starting tackles going to be. We got to use our first-round pick on a tackle, blah, blah, blah. That's not on our docket for this year, and that is a great place to start. Once you get the quarterback, the offensive line's got to be there. Then what do you got to do? You got to make sure that he's got people to throw it to that are reliable. We're seeing John Mechie dropping passes, all this. You can't have guys with unsteady hands. They used a 4th-round pick and overdrafted Arian Smith last year. He's fast. You can't teach speed. Yay! What's his problem? Oh, well, he drops the ball sometimes. Oh, really? Okay. Well, you can't have it. If you got one guy, all right, but you can't have a wide receiver stable of guys that can't get open, and when the ball's in their hands, they can't catch it. You can't have it. So that's next. Running game. You got to take pressure off the quarterback. You got to have a solid running game. And then that dovetails with the offensive line as well. But we have one. Our stable is as strong of a stable as you could want, assuming the Jets prioritize Breece Hall and get him back in here. Got to re-sign him. Give him a 3-year contract. Give him the $12 million. Make him happy and keep Breece Hall right here. And then quarterback coach. What sort of coaching infrastructure? The offensive coordinator, position coach has to be prioritized. There is no reason to believe that we are okay at that position. If you're going to go get a young quarterback and bring him in here, or Joe Burrow for that matter, you're going to bring him in here, you got to make sure that the support system is strong. Not, we think we're okay. No, it's got to be strong. And I'm of the belief there should be 4 to 5 coaches designated for the quarterback. That's how I see it. That's what should happen. That's what should be. Not one guy who was a running backs coach and he started talking quarterbacks a couple years ago. What is that? So anyway, moving all that over to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has been injured numerous times, okay? Numerous times. Not once, not twice, more, okay? Full most of the season. He's been knocked out the whole season. This year, most of the season, he's gone. You see the difference in the Bengals when he's there and when he's not there. They're left scrambling without him. So that's number one. Number one, he is an injury-prone quarterback. And even if he wasn't coming in and all that shit, and it's going to be circumstantial with the lack of offensive line, the wide receivers they got in Cincinnati, the offensive line has been a problem for him. Doesn't matter. The damage is done. The damage is done. He now has numerous injuries, legs, So you're bringing that over to the New York Jets. Number 2 is the capital that it would take to get him. Look, if you can get one of the best quarterbacks in the league, it doesn't matter. Look, we have 5 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks the next 2 drafts. We have plenty of capital. Now, it's like getting a lot of money. Why do you have money? So you can procure things. It's like when you finally spend it, right? Like it sucks to lose the money, but that's why you have it in the first place. If you can pivot, and parlay those picks into a quarterback, fantastic. But an injury-prone quarterback, number 1. Number 2, aside from his desire to be here and all that shit, that we're leaving that aside. I'm just talking about should the Jets go get him. You got a guy who's injury-prone, full seasons, most of the season, terrifying. What do I always say to you guys about when you're building a team here for the Jets? What is the number 1 thing you have to do? By and large, across the board. What do you have to do when building a team here? Florham Park, MetLife Stadium, New York Jets. What do you have to do? You have to remember that we are the New York Jets. We are not the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are not the Baltimore Ravens. We are not the San Francisco 49ers or Kansas City Chiefs or Philadelphia Eagles. We are not those teams. We are the New York Jets. I don't give a shit if you believe in bad luck, if you believe in Jets curses. I don't care what you believe. It is real. And again, why? I don't know. If you never needed a stronger example, if it's real or not, then when we went out and traded for Aaron Rodgers, when he has played the year before we got him, he played the whole season with a broken thumb. The guy is an Iron Man. An Iron Man. The Jets were so confident in his Iron Man capabilities that they didn't even have a plan B. They kept Zach Wilson as a development project as QB2. They never thought they were going to see him again that year. 4 plays into the Aaron Rodgers era, we lost him for the season. If you were ever pondering the idea of the Jets having worse luck, a black cloud, a Jets, if you were ever on the fence or on the side of it's not real, that should have fucking squashed it right there. The guy has played every game of the season all but like once in a 20-year career. He comes here 4 plays. And why not? Throw it on for sugar. Dwayne Brown, the left tackle that we were that we were starting, and why not? Yeah, Dwayne Brown, and he came here. He's been another Iron Man. He's played every game for years, all pros, Pro Bowls, all that shit. He came here, 4th practice, tore his rotator cuff. How about this? Chuck Clark. We traded a 7th-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens for safety Chuck Clark. This is all the same period of time. He's played every game, every year of his career. He didn't even make it to game 1. That's what we are. So you have a guy who's getting knocked out of seasons in Cincinnati. I don't really give a shit whether or not you believe. It's real. It's here, and it happens. You're going to go and trade 4 first-round picks for a guy who's been knocked out 3 of the last 5 seasons or 6 seasons, whatever it is, and you're going to bring him here? Injury-prone there means injury-prone here. We are not the team people come to revitalize. Oh, it's a better environment. No, that's not here. You have to start assuming we are the worst case scenario. If you do not factor that in, which every Jets general manager and head coach failed to do because they're coming from these beautiful environments. Saleh came from San Francisco. Everything was soft and comfy. He comes here and what? It's a totally different scenario. He went back there. It's soft and comfy again. He said, the Jets stole my joy. We stole your joy, Bubba? Well, because you didn't factor in that this isn't the fucking 49ers. This isn't the Seattle Seahawks. This is the New York Jets. And if you don't factor that in, you are starting from the wrong point. Now, E-Boogie, I love Joe Burrow just as much as you do. I like his fire. I like all the stuff. Here's the next problem. The problem is his last press conference. This is after months of sitting and having time to ponder his life. He came in. Did you not see it? If you didn't see it, watch it. It is so alarming that the guy asking the questions from the media literally said after his questions, he was talking about, if it's not fun, why would I play? If I'm not having fun, what is this for? I don't know why I would play. If it's not fun, I would stop doing. He's talking about that. The guy literally said, this is what he said. This is what the reporter said. And remember, this is Cincinnati. This isn't our fucking crop of media guys. The Sharks in the tank, right? They're a totally different, softer. It's Cincinnati. This isn't New York. They said to him, it feels like you want to get something off your chest, like you want to say something. That's what they said. It feels like, Joe, what are you really saying? What are you saying, man? It feels like you want to say something, like you want to get something off your chest. What does that tell you? You got a guy who's injury prone that is losing his love for the game, man. He's losing his love for the game. The injuries, they are taking their toll on this man. Once you give those picks away, once you give them to the Cincinnati Bengals, they're gone. And you're stuck with a problem, an injury-prone guy who is losing his love for the game. You've seen Aaron Rodgers lose his love for the game here. Robert Saleh said we're stealing his fucking joy. Joe Douglas said, I don't know, man. I serve at the pleasure of the owner. Like, this is what's going on here. This is the place where souls get tested. Your mental and emotional fortitude gets checked with the New York Jets. If you don't come here and have, you got to have your wits, man. Your wits better be about you, because once there's blood in the water, once you're down, the New York media, and with all due respect to us as a fan base, love us. I'm one of us. You know it. Been here a long time. We kick. When you're down, the kick start. We'll call your mom. We'll tell your mother that she should have aborted you. We are fucked. That's the truth, okay? We are not right in the head. We know how to make it tough. When there's blood in the water, it starts with our media. The Sharks, they circle and they attack. We don't help you up. We beat you down. You got to get up yourself. That's the way it is here. You got a guy who's injury prone, losing his love for the game. That's going to cost minimum 3 first-round picks to bring over here. Oh, I'll add the MetLife field, the worst field as far as injuries go in the NFL. We've heard it from numerous players around the league, not even just Jets players. We've had Jets players say it, but we've had other players say it. I hate playing on that field. And we just changed it, and we changed it to an equally shitty field. The only difference here, look, up until 2 years ago, our blades of artificial grass, do you know that they were loops? They were loops, not just blades. So they were actually loops. What is a loop? Just tell me what you think. A cleat, which is a nub, right? You know what a cleat looks like? It has those nubs. Nubs running on loops. What do you think is likely to happen? They should call MetLife Field nubby loops. Loopy nubs. So E-Boogie, I love you. I love your positivity. And look, if we got Joe Burrow, it would be exciting and all that shit. I'm going to tell you, man, ain't where we want to go. It's not going to work here, man. It's not going to work. You got guys like Garrett Wilson. He's as emotionally, bolstered as anybody you can think of. Look at Breece Hall. Look at these guys. They're you can see it. When coaches leave here, they're gaunt. They're like, ugh. That's how they leave us. They get their soul sucked out of them. Now, I'm of the belief that Aaron Glenn's the guy. He's going to turn it around. I believe it. He's got the mental fortitude. He's got it. He's a very rare breed. He's going to take all of our darts, and he's built to withstand it. So I think we can turn it around, but you can't bring somebody over here. Oh, I'm starting this fucking lag thing. Starting. What is this? Sheesh. Ugh. The lag thing is starting. Oh, I was rolling. Hold on. Okay, it's coming back. Let me see here. Hold on. I was rolling. Damn it. Okay, hold on. It'll come back. It's going to come back. I got nothing else open. Hold on. Here we go. It's a little delay. All right. So I'm with you, buddy, but I can't support the Joe Burrow thing. I want to see our first round picks get used properly. All right, let's weather the the delay for a few minutes. It's going to come back. I can see it. It's a little bit closer. Zedward checking in. No Tyler Linderbaum, no Joe Burrow. That simple. I'll add one to you. I like Linderbaum, though. I don't know why you wouldn't want him. You'd have to explain that to me, Zedward. You'd really have to explain that one to me. Hold on. I'm going to open my door. Hold on. I'm going to open the door and get the internet in here. That's what I'm going to do. You have to explain the Linderbaum thing because I don't know why you wouldn't want him. But I'll add no AVT. Like, look, you know what? You get Joe Burrow, re-sign AVT, re-sign Tyrod Taylor as the backup. Why not? Get all the injury-prone guys in here. But I'm with you on the buddy, but I don't know. I would love Linderbaum. And I don't think, guys, that the signing of Josh Myers means that we are out on Linderbaum or anybody else. I don't think it does. I think that Aaron Glenn and Muji are doing something very, very important, which is, oh, look, it's catching up. Yeah, I'm back. All right, good. See, I knew it. I opened the door. The internet came through. I was blocking the internet, man. All right, so what they're doing, this is beautiful. Let me positive spin this shit for you guys. You ready? The signing of Linderbaum means that they are factoring in the likelihood that even though they plan to be aggressive in the Linderbaum sweepstakes, should he be allowed to make it to free agency, which I don't think the Ravens will, or any other center for that matter, the Jets have locked in that if they miss out on Linderbaum, that they still got Josh Myers. That's what they did. This is the shit that I've been talking about forever, man. Just like with Aaron Glenn benching starters, which he's done numerous times this year. I've been talking about that for years. Accountability. I don't give a shit what your name is. Hey, puppy. Hi, go girl. What are you doing? Go girl. I don't care what your name is. If he's not playing, bench him. Like, Salah, what do you want me to do? Make him do push-ups? I would have fired Salah right then. I would have fired him. Right then. Like, wait, you don't know that the only thing you can come up with? Push-ups? Is that where you are? Get the fuck out of here. That's what I would have said. No, you bench them. It's the only thing they care about. It's the only thing. These are ultra competitive men. Ultra competitive. They're so competitive that they sacrifice their entire life to play one game, to play one position, to be as good among the elites on the planet at one thing. And they've made it to the highest level. Now they want to make a name for themselves. They want to get into the Hall of Fame. They want to, get the big contract. That's what they're doing. And you say, you sit down. They go, what do you mean sit down? I've been working sit down until you figure out that letting a guy run by you with your effort being an arm tackle, sit down. Until you figure out how to not jump until the fucking ball is snapped, sit down. Aaron Glenn has done that. So that's one thing we're seeing. The other thing, like I'm driving home, is You have to factor in that we are the New York Jets. That we are, you got to, Murphy's Law, man. It might as well be called the Murphy's Laws. That's what they should change our team, the New York Murphy's Law. That's what we should be called. And so signing Myers literally accounts for whatever difficulty you're going to have in the free agent market this year. Don't matter. We're still going to try. We're still going to work at it. We're going to be aggressive. We got draft picks and money, man. We got everything you need. But getting Tyler Linderbaum to go from the Baltimore Ravens to the New York Jets, it's going to cost extra this, and you're going to have to figure out how to motivate him and inspire him with the idea that we have a quarterback or some shit. You're going to have to do all that. If you can't, you fall back and you got the guy who's been starting for you all year. You're factoring in that we're the New York Jets. I love it. Wyatt checking in. Green Bean Morning Stream. That rhymes. I like that, Wyatt. I love Wyatt. Wyatt's a good man. Oh, he's checking in again. All his injuries have been in different spots. He will be fine. Oh, great. So it's his whole body. I always like that argument. I mean, it's not that it doesn't have merit, and it's not that I haven't used it. Okay? But it doesn't matter. It's like if that happens once, twice, fine. Just because it was different spots doesn't mean that he's not injury prone. It actually could paint a picture that it's worse. I'm with you. I do buy it. I get it to a degree. On the MetLife turf, where injuries are born, it's like that's where injuries come from, the MetLife turf. I don't know, man. Our O-line is solid. We cannot let fear, and it's not fear and superstition, man. It's acknowledging reality. Like, so here's the thing. I say this all the time. You cannot let fear govern your choices. Once you start doing that, once you're coaching or building out of fear, you're going to make stupid mistakes. And I agree with that 100%. It's not superstition either. You have to, if you take a look at the last 20 years, just take 20 years, look at the different men, the GMs, the coaches, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the defensive tackles, the whatever. Look at all the people we've brought in here and look at the thing that's consistent. You have to factor it in. If you don't, like this whole thing, that's what Robert Saleh did when he came here. That's what Todd Bowles did when he came here. That's what Adam Gase did when they said, that's bullshit. That's all superstition. Oh, yeah? See, now let me point to that Aaron Rodgers example I gave you. Here's what could have happened if you factored it in. Instead of having Zach Wilson as your number 2 quarterback, where he should have been number 3, stuffed on the practice, he should have been on the practice squad. Nobody would have poached him and paid the contract. He was completely safe. You should have kept him from the field and had a viable, legitimate backup. But they did what Wyatt's talking about here. You can't let superstition factor in. You got to, Aaron Rodgers is going to play every game. We'll put Zach there. We're going to work on him. Aaron Rodgers is here. We got a whole new bunch of guys. We're going to push reset on his career and develop him. He'll never see the field. They didn't factor it in, and Zach Wilson was our starting quarterback, play 5 of that year. What if you factored it in? You could have had Zach Wilson sitting on the bench, and you could have had Trevor Siemian, Carson Wentz, anybody as your number 2, working with the team all training camp, all preseason. And then when Aaron Rodgers went down, we still would have had ourselves an actual season. Because let me tell you a little story about how that team was built. That team was fucking built to do something and could have done something. The defense was lights out that year. Lights out. We were losing games, like what? 10-6. There were numerous games where that team didn't let the opposing offense score a single touchdown, and we lost. There was more than one example of that in 2023. So I don't want to hear it, man. Superstition my ass, you fucking Wyoming. You come from the land of big sky and everything's peaches and cream, man. You're welcome to New York, buddy. You're only on year 4 as being a Jets fan. Wyatt with his Rusty, tell this kid something. And this is the other side. Thanks, Wyatt. I love you, buddy. I don't. So Zedwards, I don't think Burrow would come here unless we had a solid offensive line. Lindenbaum would slip. Well, he would. So that's conflicting, Zedward. You're confusing me, bud. So here's the thing. Joe Burrow has a no trade clause. And what that essentially means, Kyle Clifton called in the Jake show earlier, and he had a great point, which is, he said it excellently, which is you can't look at a no trade clause. That means like, I don't want to get traded. I love it here so much. I want to stay. That's not necessarily what it means. It means you can't just send me anywhere you want because they're offering you, the team, the best package of picks or whatever. I have say. I determine where I go. So sending someone to you see it, guys that don't have no trade clauses, those are the guys that you can send to the Browns, you can send to the Jets, you can send them to the Jags or the Panthers or whatever. Jags not this year, but you know what I mean. They want to be like, no, you're not sending me to the abyss because they gave you a second instead of a third. I want to go to the Ravens. I will let you trade me to the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Niners or, you know what I mean? The Colts. That's going to be so interesting, Phillip Rivers, man. That's going to be crazy. I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to surprise everybody. I don't think he's going to play well enough to win. At least I hope not. I hope they lose out, man. I hope the Colts pick can be as high as, I believe it's 12. But it's in that range, 11, 12, 13, something like that. Dude, could you imagine the Jets lose out and we have pick 2 or 3, and then right on the heels of that, we have pick 12? Shit. It's like 2022 all over again. It's the exact same thing. When we traded Jamal and everybody bitched and complained that it was going to be a late round pick, it ended up being pick 10. We had pick 4 and pick 10. We got Sauce, who we just turned into 2 picks and a wide receiver, and then pick 10, who is our best offensive player in, you can argue Brees, but Garrett Wilson. So not bad. Not bad. Look, and I think the offensive line thing, and to Wyatt's point as well, you know, it's a good point that we have the offensive line that they don't have. That's great. And we don't have the receivers that they have, but we got some of it. Like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I mean, that's a 1-2 that, you know, it's hard to come by. You know, you can say Jefferson and Addison are kind of in that same conversation when they had Ayuk and Debo and all that. You could argue, you know what I mean? But like they're up there and as like maybe the top tandem, you know, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. So we got Garrett Wilson. I don't think Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell is going to be that, but Garrett Wilson and one of your first round picks if you end up keeping them. But if you got to give them away, so let's say you got to give away both first round picks and a first round pick next year. You know what I mean? Your ability to, you still got your seconds, which will be nice, but you'll probably have to give up both first this year and 2 of your first next year to get Joe Burrow. That is what I think. Fuck that. Wyatt, checking back in. I'm not saying you don't have a backup plan, but you can't pass up on a Hall of Fame quarterback. Let me tell you something. If Joe Burrow chooses to retire because he hates the game of football, he's not going anywhere near the Hall of Fame. And let me tell you this, he would have to play a bunch more years he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was a Hall of Fame quarterback. Joe Burrow was not a Hall of Fame quarterback yet. Joe Burrow is a good quarterback. Elite, don't get me wrong. But if his career, if he just keeps getting injured and all that shit, and he plays, 10 games here, 8 games there, whatever it is, he's not Hall of Fame. Hold on, let me look up. Let me see something. I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Let's see here. So this is Joe Burrow's career. He played 10 games his rookie year. He played 16 his next 2 years. So he played the full seasons his next 2 years. The following year, he missed 7 games, 10 games. Then he played a full season. And then he played 4 this year. And he'll see if he makes it. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So you don't pass up on a Hall of Fame quarterback because he may or may not get hurt. Joe Burrow would immediately be the best quarterback we've ever had. The matter of, let me tell you something. I disagree with this at its core level. Saying that you don't pass up a quarterback. Now, you can decide that the 3 years that he played every year, so he's 1, 2, 3, 4, he's got 6 years. Half of his career, he played all the games, and he is 50%. We're not talking about 1 year. We're talking about half of his career. He did not make it through the season. Half. And these are big injuries, too. Like, so but here's the one, here's where you would have a point. The Jets can look at this and say that's not enough for us to be concerned. That if we really can get him, if Joe Burrow is willing to waive his no trade clause for us, for the Jets, and they're going to take 3 first-round picks and a 4th for him, and we are willing to pay that still gives us 2 firsts and 3 seconds and all that shit. Like if they're willing to take 3 firsts for him, whatever it is, just they're willing to take a realistic trade, not 5 firsts. Because if that's the case, you say go pound salt. Yeah, Harry, I know, buddy. I already talked about it. Man. I'm well aware. I opened my door. The internet's coming in. I'm locked up now. I'm just a little bit. I don't know what it is. I gotta change internet carriers, man, because that's what it is. But anyway, if that's all good and the Jets, look at this now. Now I'm fucking, look at that. So hold on. Let me see something. Oh, okay. So they can make a decision that the risk is worth the reward. They can do that. That's one thing. They can do whatever they want. But I'm telling you, it is my opinion. And I've been here longer than most. Not as long as Harry. Harry's been here longer than me. And there's definitely some of you guys that have been here longer than me. But let me tell you, when you look at it through the lens of what is real here, every guy who says, you can't judge, you can't base this on that, you can't base, they're totally different players. Okay, one more fool to stand in the line of fools who has come here and taken the approach that Wyatt's talking about. So, all right, E-Boogie checking in. Last one, I got to run. I got a doctor's appointment. You are right, but the Jets can. Look, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I would be excited just like everybody else. I'm just going to say, and I wouldn't be rooting for it, but when it happens, when he's fucking injured, I'm just going to bring it up to people and go, do you remember? Number one, it ain't happening, but it's fun to talk about. I'm going to point it out to you guys, and I'm going to say, you remember? Are you ready? So we got Wyatt, who's been around the Jets for 4 or 5 years, telling me about what superstition is and all that kind of shit. I get it, but I'm going to remind him. It's going to take when Wyatt's here 15, 20 years, he's going to be saying this kind of shit. Meadowland Swamp Thing said it. It cannot be underestimated. That's funny. Is that Reed? That's funny. Tell the doc about my delayed speech. Doc, I'm having delayed speech. Well, that's a good place to end it anyway. Guys, I got to bounce. Love you guys. I hope you had a great a great day so far. Don't forget about the Sleeper app. I got the link up there. I mean, you see it up there on the top right, and the link is in the description. Go take advantage of their amazing offers. But guys, have a great rest of your day. Where is it? Have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. The Washington Redskins at the time, they didn't want to trade the 5th overall pick. They didn't want to do it. They probably wanted Ricky Williams, or they wanted somebody for their own team. And Ditka just kept dumping shit. No, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And he got to a deal. You're seriously going to give me the 12 overall, every pick in this draft, plus your 1st and 3rd next year for one guy? They took it. So you want to know how this worked out? 2 years later, the Saints traded Ricky Williams. I think they fired Mike Ditka too. Like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. So that's what they did. This guy's out of his mind. They bought in on name only. They said, hey, man, he's a genius. We're just going to go. Nobody thinks this is smart. Nobody else in the organization bought into that one. I'm sure of it. But they let him do it because he's Mike Ditka, and then we learned right there that Mike Ditka's plumb crazy.